The medical care of World War I. At the United States entry of the war in 1917, the Army did not have an established medical corps. During the war, the U.S. Army copied parts of the French and English medical system. The need for an arranged military medical staff led to the hiring of nurses and the participation of the American Red Cross in the war. World War I was the first war in which deaths on the battlefield outnumbered the deaths caused by disease. There are a few factors that caused this difference. Great advances in prosthesis were made. Although antiseptic fluid began being used to help prevent infection, hygiene became the biggest issue. Throughout the war, soldiers fought, ate, slept, washed, and relieved themselves in narrow trenches where dead, decomposing bodies and hungry, diseased rats could be found easily. The body loss was also very common and spread quickly through the trenches. Lice caused trench fever, which although in some rare cases could be deadly, mostly saved lives. Soldiers suffering from this had to be evacuated, but would not die from the disease. World War I was the first war where blood transfusions were possible. This gave new blood to hurt soldiers. Also, for the first time, vaccines for diseases were available. World War I was the first war that allowed women to openly serve in the Army. This made the establishment of the Army Nurse Corps possible. The American Red Cross was also active in the medical care of World War I by establishing hospitals, enabling ambulances, and overall recruiting nurses. Nurses worked on the front line, picking up wounded soldiers, dressing scars and battle wounds, running canteens, and driving ambulances. Nurses also organized, cleaned, and set up hospital rooms and equipment. Although blood transfusions and X-ray equipment were available and helpful, there was no medication to stop infections once it started. Another problem was the average soldier not trusting doctors. One example was Marion Andrews, who was hit by a German shell and got a piece of shrapnel stuck in his leg while sleeping in a wagon. He refused to report to the field hospital, hoping that the wound would be minor. After a week, he found that he had blood poisoning, and only then did he surrender to the treatment of doctors. Overall, at the beginning of the war, the United States had an undeveloped medical corps, but by the end of the war, the corps had produced a workable medical system that actually made advances in the field of medicine.